Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We're doing okay.
Welcome to town. Welcome to town.
Are you cool with us calling you Coach Carbs?
Yeah, we heard that might be your new nickname, your new moniker.
That's what players, coaches, Carbs is all good with me.
Because I wanted to call you Carbery, and then I heard Joe Ben and I say Carbery. How do you pronounce your last name?
It is Carbery, yeah. Carbery.
Carbery.
Yeah, you got it.
No, but Carbs is a great moniker. You're like, who doesn't love carbs,
And it's
Coach?
better than Carby. It
Right?
would either be Carbs or Carby. I think Carbs just flows better. Right?
I mean, everybody loves carbs.
Yep, you certainly do.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good bit.
Well,
I got called once in my years in Toronto. Someone once was called I was called the Carbonator, which was interesting. The Carburetor.
That's
Right,
good,
I
too.
like it.
That's
That
not
works.
Well, congratulations. You know, we were talking about your name the last few weeks because your name, was just the media outlets had you as a potential candidate, maybe the lead
bad.
candidate.
It's like the first name out there.
It's the first name out there, and of course you have ties to the organization. So, just kind of give us a rundown of the whole process. When you first started talking to BMAC and then finally getting the gig. It's congrats. It's awesome.
Yeah. So the way it works is when you're working for another organization, you can't. It's different than some other leagues. You can't speak to other organizations until your season's done, and then even after that, teams need permission. So once Toronto lost to Florida in the second round, I had a feeling that there may be some interest out there, and having gone through the process the previous off season, I was pumped to potentially get another crack at being a head coach, and that sort of starts the process. Teams reach out to the general manager in Toronto, and then the process started from there. Like I said yesterday, I just felt as I was going through it, I just kept coming back to feeling really good and comfortable, and just everything pointed me back to the Caps organization from a living standpoint, from a family standpoint, from a team and a familiarity standpoint. Like all of those boxes for me, it just kept coming back to the Caps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Coach, you couldn't create a better Caps head coaching candidate in a lab if you tried than you, because you played for and coached the Caps affiliate in South Carolina, the Stingrays. You coached the Hershey Bears, the Caps AHL affiliate. I mean, this has got to be your dream job, and to land it at the age of 41, you got to be one of the youngest head coaches now in the NHL. It's got to feel great for you and your family.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and I think, to your point, I think I have a unique perspective coming in here and having been in the organization, having stepped away from the organization, knowing a lot of the prospects like you touched on, and the young players, having just coached them a few years removed. I think that's where maybe my unique perspective is able to help in this situation here as the Caps head coaching job was vacant.
So you played in 5 different leagues in your playing career. Does that make it easier for you to relate to players from the highest paid player on the roster to, the AHL call-up that's going to be on the team for maybe 2 or 3 games and then get sent back down? Does that help you relate to the players?
You know what that makes me is a suitcase as a player, because I played on. So we would call that a suit, like someone that was traded around or bumped around. Where I think it more helps me is a couple things. Like I have an appreciation for the climb and the work and the dedication, because I never was able to play in the National Hockey League. So that's number one, is the appreciation for getting there. And then the second part that sort of ties in there is the willingness to grind. And that's when you start in the ECHL and you're assistant coach and then you become a head coach there. I just couldn't even sit here and tell you all the things that go into being a head coach at that level, from a housing standpoint to an immigration standpoint to a travel standpoint, hotels, road, like you do everything at that level. So you have to grind if you want to be successful in the ECHL. You got to do all your recruiting. You got to do all your free agent signings, all of that stuff is on your plate. So you appreciate and understand that grind of when you're trying to reach a goal. You're going to have to put your head down and get to work, and there's going to be a lot of ups and downs with it, but you better be willing to grind.
Coach Carbery, so you coach at Hershey with a lot of Capitals prospects. I'm just wondering, do you ever go to Hershey Park? Do you get time to chill?
Yeah, honestly, and I'm not exact. I literally can see Hershey Park from my front door.
Wow.
We bought we live like right downtown Hershey. We have season passes. My little ones love shooting over there, and I always tell them to luck their thank their lucky stars because they're literally able to be to the front gate door to door in like 8 minutes.
So how old are your kids?
They're 11 and 9.
Oh, it's the perfect age.
Yeah, it is.
What is Coach Carbery's favorite ride at Hershey Park?
Great question.
Oh, it's
Super Duper Looper? That's an older ride. I get it.
That's an older one.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's the Storm Runner is the one that you sit there for like a 10-15 count and then it shoots you out.
It's exhilarating.
It's
fun.
Yeah.
Coach, let me ask you a couple kind of geeky team questions, okay? So when you were going through the process, and these are broad, softballs for you. These are broad, but when you looked at the team, a couple things, right? So everyone knows, right? It's an older team. We've got like sort of iconic older players in this area, right?
With big contracts.
With big contracts. I don't need to tell you that. And these players are beloved here. I mean, there's one thing about this town. That's very, very supportive of the Capitals, very diehard base. How do you manage then kind of eventually making the inevitable transition from iconic older players? Now, Ovi's not going anywhere, but I mean, you got a deep roster of older players, and then how do you do that?
So here's what I think is I think though you're spot on.
Right.
Those veteran players have won here. They're beloved here. They've had unbelievable careers. And what I'm hoping and where I think our visions line up is, I'm not oblivious to the fact that as a player gets older, it gets more difficult, no question. Younger player, difficult to come into the league. I understand all that. I just don't think or see it as a situation, I don't think they do either, as just because I'm a veteran player doesn't mean I can't be a very productive player and a very good player on a good hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my focus is understanding the situation in the scenario, understanding I have a responsibility and we have to get younger players into our lineup and integrate them into our team, and I have to facilitate that. But we also can win a lot of games doing that, and those veteran players can still be, in my opinion, very productive in accomplishing that goal of winning a bunch of games in this scenario.
Can I ask you one? This is kind of like what's standard in the league. We loved Laviolette, right? Great guy. Loved having him on every week, and I'm sure he's respected. When you make the transition, you take over a team. I'm not asking you what he said. But is it sort of does he give you a buzz and say, hey, man, look for this, look for that, good luck? Do you have a conversation? Is that a thing?
It is for, you have strong relationships with coaches, and you've been around them in the past, and usually sometimes it's a one line, good luck, pulling for you.
Right.
And sometimes you have more of a relationship, and it's more in depth, and like you said, hey, here's what to look for this, and this. So you're right in a lot of the coaches that I've had relationships with in the past. Lavi's one of them. Butch Cassidy in Vegas, who's competing for a Stanley Cup right now. So that does happen.
Coach Carbery, you're clearly a competent guy, but following up on Laviolette, do you look at him and what he wasn't able to accomplish here and say, because you've never been an NHL head coach, do you think, man, if Laviolette couldn't get this thing right, that guy's 8th all-time in wins, does Does it give you any self-doubt heading into, like, following in his footsteps?
I don't this is going to sound weird, but I just don't look at it. Like, I don't even let my brain go to that spot. I know, and I'm well aware of how talented Lavi is and how much success he's had in his career. And I've been around. He's a phenomenal guy, great coach. So I don't really look at it like, I just look at it in my own lane of, okay, what am I doing tomorrow and how am I getting this group? And, okay, let's create a plan. Here's how we need to play. Here's what we need to do. Here's the boxes we got to check. And I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make that come to fruition. And do I know it's going to be challenging and difficult because of exactly what you touched on? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's a big challenge, but I focus on the work part more than evaluating, oh, geez, I'm not sure if this is going to be able to happen.
Coach, I got a friend who just got a pretty good college basketball job, and one of the things that really challenged him, he told me, was just putting a staff together. I'm sure you clearly already had names in your head if you got the job. So talk about putting a staff together. Have you named the staff? Have you figured out how many guys you need? How does that work?
Yeah, we're just starting that process right now, and have an idea of how I would like that to look like. There's a couple positives with our video coaches that I've worked with in the past, so they're both on staff. So that's great. Mm-hmm. We have a goaltender coach and an assistant coach that I've worked with in the past, and they are on staff, so that sort of gives us a bit of a head start. And then I think the way it looks is adding at least one assistant coach and potentially two to the staff to round that out. And I think the big one for me that I'll probably hone in, well, there's two. There's obviously coaching the back end and the defense, but also the power play coaches where I need to dig in and really focus. Because as you guys know, it's an important part of the National Hockey League to do a really good job with your special teams and on your power play, especially with our group. So I need to really focus to make sure that that hire and someone that's going to run the power play, I have a vision of how it should look, and I have some foundational things that I believe in from running Toronto's power play the last 2 years. And so trying to get someone that lines up with that can come in and now help us help that power play and our power play get running.
Without necessarily committing to playing specific guys, I know as a fan, for example, this past year, you would always hear, why aren't they playing Connor McMichael more? Connor McMichael should be on the ice more. Will fans see more young players on the ice than maybe they have seen in the last couple of years?
That is my vision. And to be able to get more young players into our lineup that can help us win games. Now, a lot goes into that, so it's difficult to sit here and take a stand and say, yes, this will take place, because a lot of stuff has to happen. A lot of stuff has to be earned. We need to see how training camps, but that is my plan, is for young players to get integrated into our lineup and more of them.
Talking to Coach Spencer Carbery, the new head coach of the Washington Capitals, signs a 4-year deal. This might be a dumb question, but Coach, how much say or influence do you have in the draft pick? The draft in general. Caps select 8th overall coming up here soon, or is that all Brian McClellan?
I have less than 0% say in that.
All right. So it was a dumb question.
That's his baby.
Well, no, but I would guess. I think
you're
you're underselling. I would guess that they ask your opinion on players. You just don't make the call.
To be honest with you, they won't in.
Oh wow!
In this, just because there's zero information to give other than generic. A tall right shot defenseman is a quality player. Like, I can't, just because I have no knowledge, having seen any of them even touch the ice.
Gotcha. Hey, when you were playing for the South Carolina Stingrays, what town was that? What city was that?
North Charleston, I believe.
North Charleston.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Oh, that must have been fun though, going out.
Charleston's a great town.
You a
great
golfer?
City. Golfer, yes, I am. Great city. Both my kids are born in Mount Pleasant.
Very good. All right.
Mount
So
Pleasant.
Now we're in the
That's a nice
we're in the
area.
personal on Coach
All right,
Carnes.
let's place bets.
We're going to run some personal questions by you. Not
place
super
bets.
personal. I'm
Just
not going to
dollar
ask, like,
bets.
your social or
Don't
your
give us your
salary.
answer. Why don't we bet on his handicap?
Oh, he's probably hockey guy, probably good.
Generally
So,
good players.
I'm going to say 7 or 8 at worst.
I'm gonna go higher because he says he's a grinder, which means he's focused on work.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
I
like
think
a
he's
10,
gonna be a
'cause
great
he's-
golfer naturally. I'm gonna say 15.
Oh, he's
I'm gonna
down
give
at
him a
15.
10.
He woke up out of birth at 15.
Hockey players are just
Hockey
natural.
players, they're
I'll say he's a
naturals.
5.6 index.
I'm saying a 7 to 8.
Coach Carbery.
9 handicap.
All right.
Oh, very
I
good.
think I think I'm kind of closer,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
What was the 15? Was that the? Did anybody say 10?
No, you said
I
7 to 8.
said 10, around 10.
so you're closer.
Close.
You're closer. Yeah.
Is Coach Carbs a dog guy or a cat guy?
Ooh, I'm gonna say dog. I mean, that's
You're going to
too
lose
easy.
me. You're going to lose me if you say cat.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
most guys, it has to get out there.
Most guys don't admit cat. They just
I
don't
know,
admit cat.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We are about to. Oh, sorry. Did you guys?
All right, hold on. Yeah. Hold on.
I'm going to go dog guy.
Yeah.
My initial lean.
I hope dog, but I don't know.
He's definitely a dog guy.
I'll go cat. I'll be
Okay,
the
you'll be
contrarian.
okay.
What do you say, Coach?
We are. I believe we will be a dog family within the year.
Okay.
There
All
you
right.
go.
But he's
Okay.
not a dog family.
All right,
Now, all right.
now
Does
you can
Coach
guess our number.
Carbery watch any TV shows at all?
Yes. I'm
Or
gonna
is
say
he
yes.
all hockey
No.
all the time?
He's married. He has to have some downtime.
You think
with
he
his
watches
wife,
Succession
TV.
with his wife or something like that?
He watches something other than like Nashville Predators game film. Yes, in his spare
Yeah, because that would
time.
get boring. Watch
Yeah.
that.
I don't know what it is, but I'm going to say yes. Watches other TV.
Coach?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh
What
yeah.
is what does Coach McMichael watch? Are you do you know that HBO Max is now?
McMichael.
I mean, sorry,
Carbery.
It's Carbery. Do you know that HBO Max is now Max?
No, he's not up on that.
Yes, actually, I just changed our app. We have it, and it
Dude,
made
he's
me
locked
download
in.
a new app.
Uh-huh.
He's locked in.
So he's watching something on Max. Are you watching Succession?
So it's on my list. Like that is my next. What we're gonna watch is Succession because I've heard incredible things about it.
All right,
He's
Coach,
a regular dude.
how many times have you watched the movie Slapshot in your life? You guys can place wagers. I mean, every hockey player and or coach has watched that
I'll
movie.
go 5.
Oh, I'm going to say more. I mean, probably every road trip when
You think when he was in the minors when he
I'm
was
gonna say he's
young?
watched
It's not like you with the Town or Gladiator.
I'm going to say Coach Carbery's watched Slapshot start to finish at least 20 times in his life.
Oh, come on.
Minimum.
It might be possible. It might be his thing.
Maybe.
How many times did you watch like Bad News Bears? You watched that a lot, right?
Not 20.
Valdez and I were watching it the other day.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. What do you say, Coach?
Over 25.
I know Coach Carnes.
You know what, Cakes?
My
You
guy.
seem to have won the most bets. I'll give you $1 here. Oh, I only have a 20.
Also, Coach Carbs, your team bald. You're my guy.
Oh,
You're my guy.
Yeah.
Clean shaven.
When did
nice
that
and tight.
happen for you? Like at what age? And did you go through stages of grief?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
were
stages of denial.
like Cakes like at his wedding, he still was doing like the Caesar and the push
Yeah,
forward.
but I was 25. I was desperately trying to hold on to it, Coach.
Oh my gosh, we have a lot in common.
Yeah.
I did the exact same thing. So I used to, as a young player, and going through high school. And that I had full shaved head. It was big. You know who was a big? It was like Vin Diesel, sort of like
Okay.
shaved head was cool.
Right.
And then I went back to hair, and in my wedding I had that Caesar like in 2009. And that was the last stand.
Wait, so part of at one point you went bald by choice? You might be the only guy on the planet that's ever done that.
Some guys
That's
do
kind
that,
of
man.
impressive.
Because
It was
he
like a
wanted to look
shaved
like a
head.
badass.
That's confidence right
He's
there.
got his chiseled
He's
jaw.
got a swagger, dude.
Yeah, he's an athlete. I get
He's
it.
a good-looking guy.
I understand. I know.
Hey,
He lives right next to Hershey Park. Are you going to move? Are you going to keep that house?
Oh, you're going to sell that, Blicky.
We're moving.
Yeah.
We're moving.
All right, let me ask you something. So, all right, obviously, I didn't think we could like anybody more than Labs because we
kinda
love
like
Labs.
him more.
Yeah, I know. I think I might like you more. I've already dumped him. What are you going to be like when we have you on? Because, like, you know, after a 3-game losing streak, are you going to be a pain in the ass? What should we avoid? Or, like, what are you like after losses?
So immediately after, it's not great, and I've worked on that actually.
Right.
Worked on that a lot, handling that time period after losing, and then it's fine. Then I'm good.
Next day you're good.
I go to like it's a tough scenario to describe, but then I go solution stuff like, all right, okay, what do we need to do? Where are we getting better? How can we correct these things? And then that's where sort of my mind will go. So it'll get me in a better frame of mind, a positive outlook, good energy, and that's what you guys will like. One of the qualities that I think I is just who I am as a person is that I've got a thirst for life. Like I love, there's positive energy. So that's what you'll get from me more days than not.
All right, you know what? I know you got to run. He says he's got to run.
All right. I just need to know who's going to win Stanley Cup, Florida or Vegas. Just one team. Just give me one team.
He's a gambler. He just needs to know.
I've never gambled in my life.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this just because of the relationship that I touched on before. But Florida, I'll give you this one tidbit from seeing Florida and losing to them in the second round. I was disappointed. I'm like, what? Why did we not do X, Y, Z? And now reflecting back and seeing what they did to Carolina, I'm like, I think Florida had a lot to do with why we weren't able to do a lot of the things that Toronto wanted to. So Florida's a problem.
And Kachuk is emerging as a superstar. Like he's clutch player.
And they've got all those boxes checked for playoff success with goaltending, gamers, scoring big goals in big moments, Kachuk, like all of that stuff that they're a problem.
Gotcha.
All right, Coach Carbery, it's been a pleasure.
Nice to finally meet you.
Hey, we got to get you in studio.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll do that at some point.
Would love that anytime, guys.
All right, thank you, Coach. Yeah, well.